This is where we're going to go exploring today. So here we go. We're jumping down, and we're immediately stuck in a web and surrounded. Oh my goodness. Hey everybody, Indie Dad Gamer here with a brand new episode of Caves of Cud. As you can see, we end up in a bit of a pickle, but I did make it to Ezra beforehand, and I did a little shopping, so we're gonna start there, and then it's off to hit some ruins. Now, I'm not gonna auto-explore here because the trees are very angry, and they can kick you around a little bit, and the game does tend to put you next to them sometimes. And then also there is an enemy here that we need to take care of. The Addy will Addy? Anyway, these things are nasty, and they'll give you a disease, monochrome. It makes everything the same color, and it makes the game kind of hard to play. Okay, let's look at these. There's sometimes fresh lore. There's some Rashef lore. We'll trade that stuff in later. We have a bunch of books too for later. It's the stilt, and we can take a run at the several kippers there and see if we find any drops in nectar. Be nice. Okay, so here we go. Those are the statues. Gonna come up to, this is Omen Porch, and up here is the Earl of Omen Porch, this plant. Asphodel. We're gonna see if he has any rep that we're interested in. Well, he's disliked by robots, and that's something we're trying to build, so unfortunately we cannot befriend Asphodel, which kind of stinks because Consortium of Phyta rep is good, but we don't want to mess with the robots. I'm really gonna try to smooth that over with them. So for now, you're just here. He comes into play a little later in the story. There is a story to this game. I don't quite understand all of it. At some point, I'll start talking more about it. This is the early game, though, still kind of entering into almost mid-game. I always feel like Bethesda Souza, which is the next big dungeon we're going to take care of, is sort of either the end of the early game or the beginning of the mid-game. Because it's, it can be difficult. But really, we're doing pretty well. We're level 17. Once we get to about 21 or so, I think we'll take a look at that. But for now, what we really came here for was to trade with Six Shrew, which is this plant right here. Oh joy, another meat being. Please tell me you're here to buy something. I love a Six Shrew. Alright, so let's see if we got anything good from the plant. So Six Shrew had a nice sword. I grabbed a new crysteel longsword for us, popped it into my hand, and then I headed down to Jopa and grabbed our books and shield, and then on the way up to the stilt, ran into this village. Let's see what we found. It's pretty close to Jopa. That's always fun to find villages nearby. Shuck. So here's the village of Shuck. Let's run around. They have some interesting residents here. I see some snails. They must have a snail farmer. Perhaps. Or maybe the people who live here are just snails. It's pretty cool. But, the random villages, oftentimes the little quests that they have some decent loot as a reward. So it's always worth checking them out, especially if they're easy and nearby. So let's go talk to Ruderick Shrub, the legendary glow pad first. What's up with you? Do you have work? Let's see. The Fullerite Arrow of the Angelic Nail. I think we can go get that. It's at Narrowhold. Yep, we have that for you. We'll do that right now. Let's just make sure there's nothing else interesting here. The Viceroy. What kind of rep do you carry, my friend? Flowers, hated by Memer. I don't know if floral rep is all that important or not. But, well, you know what? The law paddle, the feral laws, they're annoying. So let's go ahead and drink. It's always good to have friends, right? Oh my goodness, look, he can teach Berserk. That's interesting. Nothing to trade, though. Okay. So there we go. And then we'll check out the Warden. Okay. So let's see where that item is that we need to find. They said it is at Narrowhold. So let's mark Narrowhold on our map here. That's very close. So let's just hop up there real quick. It's a farm. Oh, good. We don't have to buy anything. We don't have to do anything. We're just gonna grab and go. Okay, so we're back to the village here. Gonna turn in this arrow. Here we go. We got 500 XP, which is nice. And some. Oh, look, we can take another small sphere of negative weight. Thank you. That sounds perfect. Yeah, that was worth it. Okay, so I made it all the way to the stilt, turned in a bunch of Reshef lore and books, leveled up 4 times, threw around a whole bunch of skill points, mutation points, and then did a little shopping, but there was really nothing to buy, so I headed to our first ruin, where I immediately fell into some trouble. So let's pick it up right there. What a start. What a horrible, horrible start. But we do have force bracelets and force bubbles galore. So I guess that's how we should start this fight. I cannot believe we just got started right there. Here we go. I can't move. Okay, there we go. At least I'm away from the things that can kill me immediately. Oh my goodness, look at all this. Let's just start shooting. But look, we can get a laser weapon. So that's exciting. I wonder if I can do it this way. Okay, here we go. We're gonna swipe this thing. I know I'm right in front of it, but here we go. That was wild. That was a wild start, but it worked out okay. So let's turn that off and see. There's one more here, but I'm not too worried about it now. Okay. Whew. So, I think we got some laser weaponry here. Let's heal and eat something. A victory meal. Is this oil? Brackish. I think I stepped in all of it. Okay, that's okay. So what did we end up with here? It should be, these should be some sort of, okay, the missiles. Okay, we're gonna treat these as scrap and disassemble them, because they get heavy pretty quickly. And then, we had this, an odd trinket, a lead acid cell. Okay. So I guess I didn't get, anything, I didn't get a weapon. Okay. I thought I might have swiped one, but I guess it didn't work. That's okay. So there's really nowhere else to go here. This is the entrance to the ruins, so why not? Let's just head in. And see what we see. Beetles. Hopefully nothing that sets us on fire too much. You do tend to start seeing ants. Okay, we have a slumberling. They're only average to us now, so I'm not... This is a good heat check. Yeah, we killed him very easily, but we still got 525 hit points, or experience points, which is not bad. So, it's a pretty big chunk, actually. And apparently we are friends with the leech. Who wouldn't be? Okay, we'll do a little auto... Okay, here we have a turret. This is chain gun turret. I've got to watch out. I just created a bunch of steam. I don't want to walk into that. One of the things you have to watch out with if you have a fire ray, watch out for if you have fire ray, spitting slug. Yeah, that's acid. You have to watch out for steam. That's a chain laser. Let's get away from that. Because steam will hurt you very badly. It's does a ton of damage, and if you're standing in the way of it or you walk into it, you can really burn yourself very badly. Okay, so there we go. We just took that thing out with 1,000,000 shots. I find it sometimes a good idea to go ahead and turn the force bubble off manually, because it gets the cooldown set quicker, so you can start using it again quicker. Which can be beneficial, but there are other times that it's good to let it run, obviously, until it runs out. But I do find myself turning it off by manually pretty consistently, because it just, I don't know. To me, it's always been better to have the cooldown kind of cycled through quicker. All right, so one floor down. We'll see how far we can go here before we need to go back up. I didn't see that beetle there. Because eventually we'll get too heavy to go on, so. And another beetle down here. Wonder if we'll find an egg, perhaps. Thermal miner. Those are robots, of course. If you get good robot rep, they leave you alone, and their mines won't explode on you, which is nice. A bubble level, that is crap. So the treat as scrap is one of the really nice things with disassemble. And there's a setting in the settings menu. Oh, look, an electric snail. Now, before we talk, I'll go back to the settings in a second, but let's go to the corpus. If I remember correctly, electric snails are what we need if we get a fungal infection. Yeah, a raw electric snail corpse. How big is this thing? 400 pounds? That thing weighs 400 pounds? Okay, well we're not going to pick it up and carry it around, obviously. We're going to eat a 400-pound corpse at some point if we get a fungal infection, apparently. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring up our journal, and we're going to mark that as something we can come back to if we do indeed get a fungal infection later. So this is electric snail corpse 2 strata deep. Okay, so that'll make a little note over here in our book. Should be somewhere in the middle here. That's layers, merchants, miscellaneous. Yeah, electric snail corpse 2 strata deep. Here you can see where we're at. This is the dome. Whoops, that's the dome-shaped ruin that we're at right there. So, anyway, back to the ruins. That's good to know that that's there, though. Oh, okay, we're on fire. That's that thermal mine, I believe. We just walked into one. Anyway, it's good to know that that's there, because we might end up with a fungal infection before this is over. Alright. Level 3. So far, nothing too dramatic except for that really interesting start, but we actually got through it fairly efficiently. Okay, so let's see here. We have 1, 2 slumberlings, a laser turret, a giant beetle. The albino apes are our friends, so we don't have to worry about them, or at least they're neutral. The leech doesn't care about us, but we have 2 laser turrets, a beetle, and 2 slumberlings, literally like right up against us. So I think we really need to go backwards. And then there's another turret there too. And then we have 2 traipsing mortars. This is not a fun place to be, so let's just go this way and deal with things a little more carefully. Yeah, we're gonna be okay. This is okay. We didn't make any bad moves initially. Oh, now we also have... This is the low light laser turret tinker. Now I don't want to kill him yet, because he's the one who's going to drop turrets that make pistols. Laser pistols. And that's... Oh, here we go. So let's hope that we get a good swipe on this. Okay, we're just gonna run this way, because we're getting hurt, and then we're gonna snap on our force bubble. Did we get what we wanted? A weird artifact. Yes, we got 1 pistol. 1, laser pistol. I don't know if we got a second, unfortunately, before he died. Okay, we're safe here, so let's heal up. And then see, we got turrets here and here. We're gonna fugue and let those guys take care of them for me. Alright, good. They threw some stuff. That's interesting. Alright. So we got, let me see, did we get 1 or 2? We have an odd trinket, which is a fidget cell, and a weird artifact, which is a jacked laser pistol. Okay, that's interesting. If we do end up getting electrical generation somehow, then we do have a weapon that will be powered. I picked up Flexiweaved from Argive when I was in Jopa last, by the way, which is why that was there. And I also did grab my shield. Somehow I made Tam angry. I touched something of his. I think I might have accidentally put our stuff in a chest that had his stuff in it already. So he's a little bit mad, so we can't go back to Jopa for a while, but it's really not the end of the world. But if that happens and you're playing this game and you make someone angry and you can't go back to a village, just wait about 2 weeks in-game and they forgive you as long as you're on good terms with them in the first place. So it'll be all good by the time it's done. This is interesting room here. Little brazen running up like that, but I feel like we can handle that kind of encounter now fairly well. So, in general, though, you really don't want to just run up to turrets like I'm doing right now. Don't do as I do, do as I say. Trust me. Okay. Here, let's see if we can steal a rifle. I think we did. Yep. So this is how we're going to start making mad money, right? We're going to swipe, and we're going to take all these turrets, weapons off of turrets, and they're all, oh, look at this one. What do we have here? Oh, it's a micro turret pariah. That's fun. Here, if we get rid of the enemies first, he might give us some pariah rep. And if you get enough of that, oh, we have goat folk too. This is an interesting encounter because the goat folk snuck up on me, and there was, okay, good. There was a sower, but he is now gone. I don't know, well, we may not get to this turret. I think it might have gotten brutally killed before we ever, no, it's still hanging in there. It's in a cloud of gas. Hang in there, buddy. Don't die on me. Oh, we have a legendary goat folk too. Things are getting spicy here. This is Rabah Heartbiter, the goat folk shaman of Clan Ur. Okay. He is loved by goat folk, hated by pariahs. Oh, he's got a little pariah war going on, okay. And disliked by winged mammals. He's a good one to kill because, like I said, pariah rep, they can teach you something called trash divining, which teaches you secrets when you rifle through trash, which is good. And then winged mammals, of course. Life saps, will saps, all those little bats that steal your stuff, your stats. They're annoying. They're not that hard to defeat, but they can sneak up on you. And if you have winged mammal rep, then you don't have to worry about him. So let's definitely kill this guy. He is just an annoying goat guy anyway. Okay, what's going on here? There's a sower down here who was sneakily hurting me. There we go. The chain pistols really are kind of OP. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna fugue, and I'm gonna get back because, oh my goodness, yeah, they're gonna start throwing stuff. And we're gonna go around the corner. There we go. They got him. So let's just get over here, and I'm gonna put my other bubble on. Oh, that's right, we didn't ever fix that. Dude. Alright, that's okay. Nothing here is that tough. Let's just get over here. We're only a few turns away from having our force bubble back as well, so I'm not too concerned. Okay, there we go. We're completely healed, and everybody kind of fought with themselves. Is this turret still alive? I don't think it ever made it. Oh look, okay, so we have another low light turret, so we can get our pistols here. Our laser pistols. Here we go. Swipe. There it is on the ground. And then let's just get this other one out of the way here. Okay, good. Normally I'd like to grab the weapons, but we're just getting shot a lot. Okay, we can try to grab these though. We're able to really like get up in there without getting hit too much, which is nice. Okay, let's get up here. It's a lot of turrets. I'm not gonna Sugar coated. And we have a little ant fiesta here too. Okay. That's no problem though. We're just gonna splatter them with our chain pistols. And also turn on our force bubble. Now, where are the stairs? Just in case we need to make an escape. They're over here. I am gonna make my way over there. Not for stair cheese, but for escape purposes, because we're at 274, which isn't really that close to our max weight. But I don't know, I don't like the feel of this right now. So retreat in this game, there is nothing wrong with that. Sometimes if things don't feel right, the best thing to do is just back up and live to fight another day. And I don't feel bad doing that. We're on fire, so let's put ourselves out, heal up. And honestly, I think even though we're in the middle of a ruin, this is a good place to stop because things are getting a little intense. And I noticed that I'm starting to play a little sloppy. And if there's one thing that I have learned while playing games like Caves of Cud, NetHack, Tales of Magiel, any of the roguelikes, you know, even Slay the Spire, things like that. Once you start to get frustrated or you start to play sloppy, you're going to die. So, you know, this is the point of the game where I'm just going to use my dad wisdom to take a break. Oh man, I tell you what, this game can be pretty intense sometimes, and I've learned in my old age that sometimes the best thing to do is run away. But in the next episode, we're going to keep diving down deeper into this dungeon and see what we find. In the comments, let me know what your favorite mutation is. I used to say Temporal Fugue, but man, Force Bubble? It's been really awesome this game. I'm Indie Dad Gamer. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.